Hello. Okay, this time we are going to talk about something really hurtful, which is being experienced at our own trading strategy. Yes, we might have a demo account, we might backtest, but then we arrive at a trading strategy that we like. We have the indicators, we have everything set, and well, I thought I knew what I was doing, but I didn't. So, for example, let's take few examples on how I didn't know what I was doing. The plan is, you know that the indicator that I found relaxing is the stochastic. So I have now I have the first of all, I have the paid version of TradingView. Finally, I got use of the Black Friday offer. And just today, just before I recorded this video, I found out that I can replay and on both screens, on both charts. So this will add something. Instead of me waiting for things to develop, I will go back and test everything, instead of waiting. So anyway, the plan is on the daily stochastic need for a buy, we need to see a cross here, the blue crossing the yellow or the orange, which is the K crossing the D upward, okay, below the 32 level. On the 4 hour chart, we need to see that this moving average, let me show it, this moving average converging indicator is green. We also need to see the RSI on the 4 hour. We need to see it above the 50 and above its MA. So these are the rules. Now, here, let's look at this rule here. So I started this, I triggered this trade at this point, which is a sell. So yes, it crossed, but I think I waited. Yes, I did wait until on the 4 hour chart, this showed red. Let's see if it showed red. Yes, this is red. Okay. So the red started here. Okay. And on that same level, we had the RSI. Well, the RSI wasn't on, it wasn't below the 50. So I broke my own rule. Okay. It wasn't below 50. But then things changed and it crossed above. In this case, I should close the trade. When I see this reversal here on the stochastic, the rule is this is my stop loss. If this crossed back, I would stop the trade. But what happened is that I thought with this ABC, this is the maximum that it could get, and it would react from here, or it would react from here and go back down. So I said, well, it's a shame. I should wait. Maybe it will go back. Now, the initial idea why I started this whole thing, look at this bar here, this one. This is below the resistance. So it went up the resistance, it rejected it with 3 bars, and I thought this is enough. Okay, with this in line and this below its MA, maybe I would assume I ignored the fact that it should be below the 50, and I took the trade because, well, it rejected the resistance. It went up, it actually breached the resistance altogether with very big candles, and even on the 4 hour chart, it also did the same with huge candles, but I still kept the trade. hoping that, and this is the bad word, hoping that it will retrace from this ABC. And even if it did, to tell you the truth, this is bad trade management. This is very bad trade management. And this is how I can lose. If I was on a live account, this is the plan to lose my account. This is the plan to have a zero account. Let's move to another example. The same thing exactly happened with the GBP USD, but instead of the resistance, there was the OB, the order block here on the SMC. Now, I started this. It is within the resistance. It reacted from the order block here, and there was on the way an order block here. Okay, still with those order blocks in the way, I ignored that this should be below the 50. Okay, let's go back to the euro USD. I want to see something at this point here. Was it below? No, it wasn't below. Look at this number here. It was 52, but this is the 4 hour, so it might have when before that it was below the 40, below the 50. So maybe at the time me taking the trade, it was below, just getting there above the 50, but at the time of the trade, because this is a 4 hour chart, maybe it was below the 50, just to give myself an excuse. So the same thing happened here. It crossed the OB. It didn't respect it. I thought it is still within the order flow. It is still within the order flow. And then there is still another OB here, the extreme order block here. This is not an extreme order block. This is an order block from another structure. So no, it doesn't count this because this is the high of the range and this is the low of the range. Okay. So, because it is still within the order flow, I thought let's just keep it. The same with the Euro USD. It's going up and down here. I should have closed it a long time ago. And if things went back to my indicators, to my rules, I would take it again. But it is wrong to keep it all that time. Another example. And all this video is about how a person should be experienced. Well, how I should be I shouldn't I shouldn't preach. How I should be experienced in my own plan. And how I should, if I want to make exceptions, that means there is something wrong with the plan and I should restudy the plan. Now, the good news after finding out this replay on both charts on TradingView, this is with the paid version, then I can actually go back to the beginning of the year, do all this and see if this plan works or not, and to train myself on abiding by my own rules. Let's see another example. My win loss ratio is still better than before, but now it's better than before, but not as good as it was 2 weeks ago. Last week I didn't do a video, so we missed the video of last week. So before 2 weeks, the win loss ratio was much better than this, but it's still good. It's still good, and I'm still above. I lost a lot because of the way I was dealing with the thesis. The last video I was talking about, instead of doing batches, because I used to do a batch of trades and closing them all together, then because of the trades were all in the negative, I decided to go to something I really wanted to go to, which is having a story for each trade. Until now the theory is great, but when the implementation came, I really did a very bad job. So now let's go to the opened Euro CHF. Da, 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 da. No, let's go to another bad example, which is the AUD NZD. The AUD NZD. Okay, here is another bad example. Let's see where we took the trade. We took the trade here. It didn't cross. Okay, it didn't cross back. And the RSI here is above its MA. Yes, it is below the 50, but it's above the MA. So again, it's against the rules. So it's now losing, and I think it will keep on losing. And to tell you the truth, I I am relying on this order block on the daily. And look at all this. There is no RRR. I'm just looking for winning trades. This is very bad planning, and how I am very upset with the way I'm dealing with things. And I think what I'm doing is that because the batches worked at the time, but then they didn't. Okay. When they didn't, I switched to what I call the thesis of each trade, which is okay. On paper, it's lovely. It's fancy, saying thesis. It's a big word. So I convinced myself with that word. The thesis got negated, and I'm still in the trade. I mean, look at this. The trade, okay, went up, and now it's crossing back, and I should close this trade. It's crossed back here. It is below the 50 here, below the MA. What am I waiting for? Maybe because this is still in the green, maybe this is what I'm waiting for. But all this is bad execution of the plan. And I really need to train myself on how to implement my own plan the way I planned it. Normally, we would want to test the plan as fast as possible. So, what we would do, or what I did actually, is that I got hasty. I wanted to see if it works. So instead of waiting for all the indicators to align, I would, for example, 3 out of 4, yeah, that's fine. That's okay. Let's take the trade. And I'm stuck. I'm stuck with losing trades. I have only one in the green, but I'm not sure. I can't figure out. I can't remember which one. But it doesn't matter. So this is the thesis. This is the implementation. Very bad implementation. There is no thesis anymore. And I think this is what happens to many people. And why I'm talking about this in a video and why am I making it public? Because these are the mistakes that many people are actually doing on a live account. And I think the beautiful thing about a demo account is that it's demo. Now, more than that, I don't like to lose on a demo account either. So I would go to start trying the replay here in TradingView, because I showed you a backtesting platform before, but that backtesting platform did not have the stochastic. I cannot play with the settings of the stochastic the way I want to. So I stopped using it. Just today, I realized that I can do a replay on TradingView, and this is what I will do next. So I think what I'm trying to teach myself here is that being hasty and running after winning trades instead of concentrating on having um, uh, consistent profits, profitable plan is not going to get me anywhere. Today as well, I have found another educational material that I might get into as well. to get me stronger on the SMC, on the thought of SMC and liquidity, and get more information and more fluency, let's say, with dealing with SMC. This is it for today, and I hope this was beneficial. Uh, it was beneficial for me in terms of learning, but still, I thought I would be much better than this. I had many signals to close the trade. I had many signals not to take the trade. For example, on an SMC, I'll show you this, the final thing. On the SMC, this is upward. I mean, this structure here, from this low to this high, this is a change of character on the bullish side. So this order flow here means that the price will come here, touch this at the theory of SMC, will touch this overflow and go back again. This is the theory of SMC. So what I did midpoint, in midpoint of the SMC, just because of those non complete indicators, I decided to go even against the SMC. This is unacceptable, to tell you the truth, and I'm really upset with myself. But it's good training at the end of the day. And this week I will get more engulfed in training myself how to be disciplined in my own plan, because the plan itself, maybe it's not solid enough for me to abide by it. I'm still going sideways with the plan, and this is something that needs working. It needs working on two pillars. One, training myself on this plan more and more. Two, getting more education on SMC. These are the two things that I will be working on next. Thank you very much, and I hope this was useful, and I'll see you hopefully next weekend. Bye bye.